Imagine a quiet little village, a loving mother, and 5 tiny bunnies. But danger is lurking nearby. A clever fox is ready to trick them, and only quick thinking, bravery, and teamwork can save the day. Are you ready to join the adventure? Hi kids. Welcome to Mindscope and Me Stories, where imagination glows softly and every moment turns into a magical adventure. And today I will tell you a brand new tale filled with mystery, courage, and a lesson that will stay in your heart forever. In a peaceful little village beside a calm blue river lived Mother Rabbit and her 5 tiny bunnies. Their days were filled with laughter as they hopped through the garden, chased butterflies, and played under the warm morning sun. Mother Rabbit always reminded them to stay cautious, because the sly fox wandered the nearby forest searching for easy prey. One bright morning, Mother Rabbit needed to go to the market to buy fresh carrots, cabbage, and bread. She gathered her little ones and gently repeated her important rule. After she left, they must lock the door tightly and only open it when they heard her soft, sweet voice and saw her gentle white paws. The bunnies nodded seriously, promising to follow her instructions. For a while, they played quietly inside the house, stacking blocks and rolling tiny yarn balls. Everything was calm until suddenly a loud knock boomed at the door, surprising all of them. A deep, rough voice called out, pretending to be Mother Rabbit. "Children, open the door," the voice said, but the bunnies instantly felt something was wrong. Their mother's voice was always soft and gentle. This voice was heavy and scary. The eldest bunny shouted that he must be the fox, and they all refused to open the door. Outside, the fox growled in frustration. His plan had failed. So he marched into the village and searched for a way to disguise himself better. He dipped his dark paws into a sack of white flour to make them look like Mother Rabbitess, then drank warm honey to soften his voice, practicing sweetly until he sounded almost convincing. With his new plan ready, the fox returned to the cottage and knocked again, this time speaking in a sugary soft voice. The bunnies were confused. It did sound a little like their mother, so to be sure, they asked him to show his paws through the window. When they saw the white paws, the older bunnies began to believe him. But the smallest bunny felt uneasy. Something didn't feel right in his heart. He begged his siblings not to open the door, reminding them of their mother's warning. Unfortunately, the older bunnies were convinced by the gentle voice and white paws. Ignoring the youngest, they slowly unlatched the door. The moment the door opened, the fox burst inside with a wicked grin. The bunnies screamed and scattered across the room, running under chairs and behind curtains. But the fox was too quick. One by one, he grabbed 4 of them and stuffed them into a big brown sack, tying it tightly and throwing it over his shoulder. The smallest bunny, still hiding behind the shelf, trembled with fear but stayed silent. When the fox finally left the cottage and disappeared into the forest, the little bunny rushed out and waited anxiously by the door for Mother Rabbit to return. When she arrived and saw the mess, she immediately understood something terrible had happened. Tears filled the smallest bunny's eyes. As he explained everything, Mother Rabbit hugged him tightly and promised to bring the others back. She followed the fox's footprints deep into the dark forest, her heart beating fast with worry, but filled with determination to save her children no matter how dangerous the journey became. Along the way, she met Bruno, the strong and kind badger who lived in an old burrow beneath a fallen tree. After hearing her story, he didn't hesitate even for a second. He joined her, and together they followed the trail to a cave where the fox had hung the sack and was boiling a pot of water to make rabbit stew. They rushed inside the moment the fox stepped out to wash up. Mother Rabbit quickly untied the sack, freeing her frightened babies. Tears turned into joy as they hugged her tightly. Then Bruno suggested a clever plan. He asked Mother Rabbit to tie him inside the empty sack so he could scare the fox when he returned. She nodded and hid with the children behind a rock. When the fox returned, humming happily about his meal, he lifted the sack. Bruno growled loudly from inside, sounding like a wild beast. The fox jumped back in terror, slipped on the wet cave floor, and tumbled straight toward the boiling pot. Screaming in fright, he ran out of the forest and never came back again. Mother Rabbit and her babies thanked Bruno with all their hearts. Then, together, they walked home safely through the peaceful forest. The children learned that listening to warnings, staying united, and thinking cleverly could protect them even from the biggest dangers. If you enjoyed this magical story, give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe for more warm, loving adventures next time.